Hello again, my beautiful warrior. In today's video, I'm going to be just talking off the cuff when it comes to how to handle unsupportive people in your life. And this could be coming from your spouse, coming from your best friend, coming from your parents, or coming from your coworkers. And I feel like when it comes to your coworkers, those are kind of like the easiest people to handle, at least in my opinion, because you don't have to talk about breast implant illness or your explant surgery with them at all. But obviously, when it comes to your spouse who you are with all the time, or your best friend who you talk to all the time, or your parents who are like supposed to be your biggest cheerleaders, right? You would really hope that whatever you decide to do and however you're feeling, that you would feel seen and heard and validated and get encouragement. But I do know, after running my Facebook group for over 4 years now, that there are people in your life who you wouldn't expect to be unsupportive, who actually end up being unsupportive when you approach them and tell them, I feel like I'm sick from my breast implants and I'm going to remove them. And so typically what I find is, let's just blanket everybody. So I'm not specifically talking about a spouse or a best friend or a parent. I'm just talking about anybody who's unsupportive. Know that you want to open up to everybody and share how you're feeling and your decision with everybody. And when you do that, you're actually going to find out who is for you and who truly does support you. And that is one of the biggest blessings that comes out of breast implant illness, is that you really do see who has your best interest at heart. If you find that every time you talk about breast implant illness, or you talk about not feeling good, or you talk about removing your breast implants to somebody, and it either ends up in an argument or they don't respond in a way that you would hope that they would respond, you kind of have two choices. The first one is to just not even talk about it anymore, which can feel kind of like, I feel like I should be able to talk about this with the people that I love and get support. But at the end of the day, your peace of mind and your happiness is what should be most important, especially as you're approaching your explant surgery. The second option that you have, and this one's a little bit more extreme, is to reevaluate your relationship altogether. And if you're just like, I want to be in a relationship with somebody who I can talk to, or, I want my parents to be able to hear me, or I want my best friend to understand me, and they just don't, you might want to be like, do I even need them in my life? That is the hardest decision, but I have heard many stories of women who have walked away from their husbands or their boyfriends, or have cut ties with their best friends, or just don't even talk to their parents anymore about this because of their response and because they are unsupportive. The whole message here that I kind of want to get across is about boundaries. So I didn't actually learn about boundaries until like 6 or 7 years ago. And when I discovered like what a boundary is, it felt really odd at first, but it was also very, very empowering. So a boundary is basically a rule that you set with somebody to say, hey, you're not going to talk to me that way anymore, or you're not going to respond to me that way anymore because it's either very disrespectful or it feels unsupportive, and I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. Then after you set that boundary, it's then up to them to essentially respect it. And if they continue to not respect it, that kind of tells you a little bit about what is going on. Because I do like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and maybe they don't realize that they're being unsupportive, right? And if you express yourself and communicate effectively with them and consciously with them, then maybe they can be like, yeah, I am kind of being a butthole right now. And yeah, my wife or my daughter or my best friend, like, she does deserve support and encouragement and love right now. And maybe I'm not giving that to her because I myself am stressed out, right? So I feel like communication, and really effective communication, is like key when it comes to navigating unsupportive people in your life. And I always say that there is nobody who will ever understand what you're going through than somebody who's actually going through it. So for instance, me. I completely understand you. I understand what you're going through emotionally, mentally, physically, and it's kind of unfair to expect somebody else to fully understand what we're going through. So if you are feeling unsupported, heavily lean on Facebook groups. Lean into the communities of women who get you, who have your same story, who are sharing your same kind of journey in this moment, and just pour yourself in there, because I feel like that's where we get the most encouragement, the most answers, the most support, the most clarity, and you can find some really good friendships coming out of breast implant support groups. And your feelings and what you're going through is so valid, and you do deserve to be supported because this is your body. It's your health, it's your choice, it's your life. And the people that you do have around you should love you enough to be like, yes, do what you got to do for yourself and for your health. And if you feel like explanting and removing your breast implants is going to be what's best for you, and it's going to get you back on your feet and get you healthier and happier, then they should be rooting for you. So if you are feeling unsupported right now by anybody, maybe take a step back. See what your needs are and what you're needing from that person, and effectively communicate with them these next couple of days. You could even write everything out on paper and give it to them, whatever you feel like is going to be best for you, to be able to like spill your heart out and show these people like what you need right now, because you're not feeling good and you are going through a major surgery soon, and this is like really big for you. So take all the time that you need, take it day by day, be very patient with yourself and with your body and all the adjustments that you're going through. And for the people that don't believe in breast implant illness, I feel like I'm always wanting to say, well, you don't have to believe it, but I do expect you to support me. And here's what supporting me looks like. And here's what being unsupportive looks like. So it's being very clear on what you're expecting and what you're not expecting, essentially. And I know that sometimes going through this can feel very lonely, because in the real world, there might not be that many people who you can talk to and relate to. So again, reach out to me anytime. You are never alone. There are tens of thousands of people inside of all of these Facebook groups who are going through very similar situations and symptoms as you. And so you are really never alone. It's just reaching out to the right people to stand with you and support you and encourage you. And I welcome you into my Facebook group, Breast Implant Illness, Rejuvenation and Education with Christina, to get that support and to get that encouragement and to get the clarity and the confidence with preparing for your explant surgery. So I hope this was insightful and helpful. This is something that I would just say to a friend or even to you if we were face to face. And if you did just discover breast implant illness and you're trying to navigate this whole explant process and you're feeling a little overwhelmed, I did just update my book, Discovering Breast Implant Illness, What Now? And inside this book are your top 3 priorities, your 7-step checklist on how to go from, oh my God, I just discovered breast implant illness, to your explant surgery. Oftentimes we can overcomplicate things and think that we need to be doing more things than we should be doing. And oftentimes it's just boom, 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 boom. And then you got your explant date. I talk about post-op care. Your consultation questions are in here. I have detox and immune system recommendations in here. Talk about your implants don't need to be leaking or ruptured for you to be sick. I even have some heavy metals from the FDA's own website in here that are found on breast implants. There's so much in here. This is literally all you need to prepare for your explant surgery, to help you feel more calm and confident walking into that surgery. So it's all updated. I will put the link to this guide down below in the comments. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe if videos on breast implant illness, explant surgery, and body image are of interest to you. And I'll see you on the next video.